Well, joined now here on GCR by a man who I remember calling a football game that he played at M&T Bank Stadium once upon a time where he scored 7 touchdowns. I hope that's not what he's going to be doing on Sunday, but it's going to be cool to have him back. He is, of course, the pride of Damascus. He a Terp, and now with the Indianapolis Colts. Jake Funk back with us here on GCR. Jake, it's Glenn. It's so great to chat with you as always, brother. Thank you for taking the time for us.
Thank you for having me, Glenn. I really appreciate it.
Hey, dude, being back at M&T Bank Stadium, you played a couple games there in your life. I gotta imagine it's gonna bring back a couple of feelings being there on Sunday, right?
Yeah, of course. I mean, M&T Bank was obviously a place where I have a lot of memories, from high school to even coming back and playing there in 2021 when I was with the Rams.
Yeah.
So a lot of history there, and a lot of fun times that I've had in that stadium.
I know that you've been doing this now for a minute. I realize that you've already unlike a lot of guys who will play for 20 years and never win a ring, you've already got a ring. But I wonder if being a guy that's had to bounce around a little bit, if there's an appreciation that you have for getting to continue this and having another team say, no, we want you here. We want you to be a part of what you're doing. That you already, even at such a young age, that you can have a greater 10,000-foot view of what it means to you to be able to keep living out this journey and living out this dream of playing in the NFL.
Yeah, I mean, obviously the last couple years have been a little different for me, obviously having to bounce around a little bit, but it definitely does give you a greater appreciation for the game and, the business side of the NFL, honestly. It stands for not for long for a reason. And I'm, super thankful that I've been, given another chance with the Colts and that they want me here and have, given me the opportunity to go out there and continue to do what I love.
You, of course, show up at the Colts at a time where, everything, you're missing Evan and, of course, you're missing Jonathan. And I don't know, you guys look really good last week, right? That was really impressive. What did you learn about this team and what it is that this team is capable of when you know that around the NFL there are plenty of people that have been writing you guys off?
I mean, yeah, we've known that people have written us off for a while, but I mean, honestly, inside the building, we know that we're a team that can come in and compete. We believe in our quarterback, we believe in our team, we believe in our defense, and it's just something that we just continue to preach every single day. Is that you just got to come in and go to work. And it really, in the NFL, it's hard to win games in this league, and it's something that we take pride in every single week, trying to just be 1-0 that week. And we'll see where the chips fall at the end of the season.
No doubt about it. He is Jake Funk. He is with us here on GCR. We're getting ready for Colts Ravens on Sunday. Jake, for you, this path, everybody knows your story, all the injuries that you went through, and getting the chance to get drafted, and I feel like your story to me is one of my favorites in all of football. And I wonder, as you and I reflect is the wrong word because you're still so young in this career, but I wonder if you have started to get a feel for how you've been able to overcome the odds. Why has it been different for you than it has been for so many players, as you bring up, that haven't been able to get there and make it stick? What it is about yourself, your upbringing, anything like that?
I think it's from what I learned in college, going through injuries and not exactly playing as much as I wanted to early on, and even towards the middle of the career. I've learned how to handle, in my opinion, adversity within this game when it comes to just confidence and not letting anything kill your confidence, and just continuing to be in this neutral mindset of just coming in every day and trying to get better every single day. And really, I mean, that's kind of it, where I've just kind of developed this neutral mindset, I guess you could say, where you just come in, you work every single day, and you don't worry about all the external things that could possibly happen. And all you really worry about is how can I internally get better every single day.
How much do you feel like you have to obviously we know what you're capable of as a football player, but those things that you're talking about, I feel like can also impact the team just because you're able to have clarity and spread it. Do you find yourself, I don't want to try to suggest that you're a mental health coach or something like that, for that group of guys. But do you find yourself like trying to share that message and try to help keep the rest of your guys as neutral as you are?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I mean, there's ups and downs in this league, and I mean, if I could be a guy that can, share my story and what I've been through in the NFL, what I've been through with injuries, hopefully it can just, help somebody just a little bit to be able to get them through, whether that's injuries, getting cut, having to move around to different cities. If there's any little insight that I could, provide, I'd love to do that.
He is Jake Funk. He's with us here on GCR as we're getting ready for Ravens Colts. You mentioned your quarterbacks, and obviously they both played on Sunday, and we'll see how this week goes. But I think there's a lot of excitement surrounding Anthony Richardson, and it's kind of ironic, right? Because here it's Lamar Jackson on the other side on Sunday, and I know there's been a lot of comparisons over the years. But what have you gotten to know about him early on, and what makes him special, and why he has the ability to become a really dynamic player in this league?
I think one, I mean, he's got some God-given ability that you can't coach. He is a special talent, and then also as a person, I mean, he's a grinder. He came in immediately and started to just dive into the playbook and try to learn everything as fast as he possibly can. We've advanced into the regular season. You can kind of see that his preparation is top notch. He is in the facility day in and day out, just learning, trying to get better, and trying to take everything in. And then, I mean, just from a leadership standpoint too, I mean, we voted him a team captain as a rookie.
Wow.
So, I mean, he's a guy that a lot of people in this building have a lot of respect for right away. And, just by his day-to-day preparation, his day-to-day work ethic. And I think he's going to be somebody who's going to be very special in this league.
Is there something dangerous about a team? We referenced earlier that you guys are aware of, the outside perception of what's going on there. But is there something dangerous? Like, here in Baltimore, everybody's very high about, going on the road and beating the Bengals and, the Super Bowl. Like, let's talk about those things. Is there something dangerous about a team that maybe doesn't face those burdens, that you say, look, people don't expect it. We know how good we are. We know that we're capable of going in and competing with everyone all season long?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I mean, it's kind of that under the radar team that, if you come in and, you look at us like that, you're in jeopardy of getting beat by a team that, is perceived to be less than you. And I mean, I think there is something to that, but at the end of the day, I mean, we just have to come in and do what we've done since the day we came back for training camp, is just come in and work. And really, I mean, just continue to build every single week on the team that we want to be.
All right, so you got to get the first taste of it. Like, we go back to the pandemic season, and there were a couple of good wins, and it was such a weird year, but you could start to see something was coming. How much did you know then, like, what was happening with Mike Locksley and this program and the direction they were going in, and how comfortable, how good do you feel about the opportunity that's in front of the program right now?
Oh, I mean, back in 2020, you definitely saw a shift in, I would say, the culture of the whole entire organization. And I think that year we really started to capitalize on that shift in culture. And I think Locks and all the guys at the University of Maryland have done an amazing job just building off of every single year. And, it's getting to a point now where they are playing at a level where they are not looked at as a mid to bottom tier program. They're looked at as a top tier Big Ten program that every single week, it's going to be a dogfight with them. And I'm just so excited to be able to see that come to life. And just being able to watch that from afar and knowing that those guys have it. They have the culture, they have the talent. And I'm super excited to see what they do this season.
Jake, I acknowledge I don't know how much you've been able to watch specific games so far, but the thing that I feel like I keep trying to figure out is what does it take to go from, to your point, not a doormat, not the team that everybody can just mark down as an automatic win, to closing the gap. Like we saw a year ago, they were so close against Michigan. They were so close against Ohio State. Like, what is the biggest difference to you? right now it would be nice to not fall behind 14-0 to start a game. Like maybe we could start with that
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
that hasn't been great. But what's the biggest difference to going from team that's close to competitive to being a team that can genuinely beat those types of teams and be a threat in the Big Ten?
Yeah, I mean, I think there's two things. I mean, I think you have to start games fast. I think you have to come out of the blocks and be able to put up points and be able to stop them defensively. But I also think there's a component of it when you get into that fourth quarter and everybody's tired, you have to find a way to finish games. And, when you get into Big Ten play, all those games are going to be close. Everybody in the Big Ten is very, very good. And, the teams that, win 9, 10, 11 games in the Big Ten, they find ways to finish games in the fourth quarter. And I think that is the next step for them is, figuring out how to find ways to finish. And the last two games, they've been able to do that. They've gone down 14-0 and have climbed back and finished games in the fourth quarter, which is something that I think is very valuable when you start moving into Big Ten play.
It's funny because I feel like it's nice that we're at a place where we're almost dismissive of a win over Virginia, right? Like everybody's like, oh, they beat Virginia, but what are they going to do when they play the real teams? Like, we're not that far removed from beating Virginia would be an accomplishment. It would be worth singing about at that point. So it's a statement already in and of itself and a real opportunity in front of them to try to get to as much as 5-0 and make things really interesting as they move into conference play. A couple weeks ago, I had the opportunity to catch up with Brian Brzee as he was getting ready for the start of his season. I don't know if you've gotten to know Brian at all, but to see the Damascus NFL family grow, what does that mean to you?
I mean, it's amazing. I mean, I know Brian personally. I know him very well. And, I was so excited and so happy for him when he got drafted and, him going to the Saints. I was there for 3 weeks, so I know that building. He's in a good place with good people. And I was really, I'm just excited to, have another Damascus guy in the NFL with me. It's really cool. We play the Saints here in October, I believe.
Oh, man.
And, just being able to see him and, and watch his success and watch his career grow, it's going to be great. He's a very special talent, obviously. And, I'm just super excited to see how his career unfolds.
That'd be a pretty cool jersey swap to do after that game. If everything works out the right way. That'd be a really cool one to do. By the way, is there one that you have so far? Is there you're a few years into this at this point. Have you done a jersey swap that's been really cool to you, or do you have something that one of your teammates or somebody signed for you that's go ahead.
Yeah, I've done just a few jersey swaps with guys that I played with in LA when we won the Super Bowl my rookie year.
Okay,
which is cool. Just guys that, you spend a lot of time with, have a lot of good memories with. So I have a few jerseys there. And then obviously, going through the year, I'm sure I'll acquire some more.
Oh, man. That was a pretty good, decent group to be around, obviously, in LA.
There
were some pretty okay players.
It was an amazing year.
Yeah, no doubt about it, man. Hey, what did you know about Odell, right? I assume you're going to see him on Sunday. I don't know if you got to, really spend time talking to him and getting to know him during the course of that year, but what did you know about him? And when you found out he was going to Baltimore, what did you think about that in that moment?
I personally, I love Odell. I mean, he was a guy that came in to the Rams my rookie year and was a guy that was just loved by his teammates immediately. He's a great human being. He's a great teammate, and just obviously an amazing football player. And, when I heard that he was going to the Ravens, I couldn't be more happy for him. All I thought about was Lamar Jackson to OBJ.
Yeah.
That's a special combination right there. And, it's very cool to see him playing for obviously our hometown team.
That's cool. That's really cool that it's something that still resonates with you, man. That's really, really cool. All right. So is it still a big deal? Are there still going to be, can we expect there to be 100, 200 Funk family and friends on Sunday, or are they kind of over it at this point? We've seen you play a lot. We can catch this one on TV if we have to.
I'm sure there's going to be plenty of people there. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
Anytime people are able to come see me play in person, people that have, been such an instrumental part of my life, to be able to just see me live out my dreams. I feel like people aren't going to miss that for the world. So I'm sure I'm going to have plenty of people at the game cheering me on.
That's awesome, man. At Jake Funk 34 on Twitter. What about Jake? It's the same thing on Instagram, correct?
Yes, same thing.
Give him a follow in those spots. Dude, I told you a million times, but I still think about that night and you running for all those touchdowns. I know there were a lot of Dundalk folks in my life that weren't thrilled about it, but it was a really cool thing. And to follow your journey from that moment forward and everything you've been through and to see how you've grinded and continued to press on, it's a really awesome story. And we're so happy for you and continuing this. Please, don't score 7 touchdowns on Sunday. That would be really nice. We ask that of you. But we always appreciate you, dude. Thank you for taking the time for us this morning.
Yeah, thank you for having me, Glenn. I appreciate it.